Preach, you need some lighting, brother. You're dark and
lighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go out, just come back. If it for any reason. We're live now. Hi, you're watching On the Town. I'm your host, Tanya. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back another week. All of tonight's guests are here with us, and they are all comedians. I've had the pleasure of working with them as a new co-host of 5BC, 5 Black Comics. So thank you, fellas. First, we have the creator of 5 Black Comics, Carl Yard, who is down there in our bottom. Well, I'm facing opposite you. The other co-hosts, who are all comedians, 2 of which not able to make it tonight due to previous engagements. Author of Playing with Fire, magician, comedian Kevin Lee, and also not with us, comedian Des Walker. So hi, guys, from wherever you are. And can't wait to see you Saturday. And here with us tonight, first, we have the only comedian that I know that went to Duke. Please welcome Preach. Hey, Preach, what's up? And also the only comedian I know that literally has his own station. Okay, and he's an actress. Please welcome Stephen E. Kimbrell. Yay! Yeah, hi. Together, they are the 5 Black Comics. Hello, fellas.
Hello, hi, Tanya.
How you doing?
How are you all?
Tanya.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. So I wanted to have you guys on because obviously, I'm co-hosting with you guys on Saturdays, and I think our audience should know each other, and I want them to know how fabulous you guys are. So first, I want to say that I joined these fellas because we never get to hear from Black men, except for like if they are with a cue card or from the media, and that's usually not in a positive light. So with all the stuff going on with the BLM, the Floyd shooting era, all the stuff that happened, I wanted to hear from the very people who are being affected by all of the, by the very people who are being affected by all of the hatred and negative images. So who better to hear from than 5 Black men who earn a living making others laugh? Let's see. I got somebody else in here. Okay, I thought somebody else came in. So these guys, I feel like we can address our issues and help us come up with solutions when the world does not want to hear from us or only hears what works for their narrative. Please welcome, fellas, to the show, and thank you so much for coming. Hey, I'm so excited.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. I appreciate you guys. I thought I saw somebody else trying to come on. So I guess that Kevin was not able to make it. That's fine. First, Carl, you are the creator. How did you come up with this concept of 5 Black Comics?
Actually, I mean, when all the protests and stuff that's been going on that I've been seeing, and as I sit and I watch TV and I watch people talk about race in America, I realize that I haven't seen it that's actually saying to me the truth. Mm-hmm. It just seemed like everybody's skirting around the truth and finding ways to not say the truth. Mm-hmm. Like I told you yesterday, like our president would say something racist, blatantly racist. Mm-hmm. And then you would hear somebody would ask like one of the Republicans on his, mm-hmm. caption or whatever, what do you think of what Donald Trump said? And they would say stuff like, well, it's unfortunate that he said such and such, that is unfortunate. He said Mexicans are rapists or so. And it's like, it's to me, just come right out and say what it is. Mm-hmm. So I started doing it on my own. I got a show, and I was doing it by myself for a while. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to bring, some friends in, and I called Preach, and I called Desi, and I called Kevin, and Steve, and I just wanted them to chime in. And I wasn't even thinking of it as a show. Mm-hmm. I was just frustrated. I wanted to talk. I was just really frustrated.
Right.
And we just started talking, and and people started responding, which I really wasn't expecting. You know, I just thought we would get on the air and talk, and people would just, there's some guys on there talking. But people really started liking what we were doing.
Okay.
And the name 5 Black Comics, actually, the first name was 4 Black Comics, because we had flyers that actually says 4 Black Comics, and I had all the 4, and the way that name came up, because there were 4 of us at the time, and we were Black, so you know, that's where the name came from. And we used to joke that we might be calling ourselves 4 Black Comics, but I'm sure anybody that voted for Trump probably had a different name for the 4 black guys that they were seeing.
Sure.
I'm sure you can imagine what that name was. Yeah, so that's how the 5 Black Comics was born. And you know, since so many people responded so positively, then you know, because I wasn't even taking it really serious in the beginning. You know, it was just 4 guys talking, you know what I mean? But the response I get, then I really started to say, hey, maybe we're onto something. So
right. Well, what gentlemen, how what made you decide to join the show? I'm just curious. First of all, you know, you can say your name again so people will know. In case they're blind like me and can't see the little writing. But tell us why you decided to join the show as comedians. Because basically you make people laugh for a living. So
you're talking to me, or are you talking to
yes, all the other 2 gentlemen. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, which one did you want to go? You
can go first.
Steve.
Steve is frozen.
Okay. She just threw it out there. She's like throwing a bone in between 2 dogs. Watch them fight. See if somebody bites their ear off.
Yeah,
I joined it because basically I knew Carl for a number of years. We were doing comedy together in Boston before he left to, as they always say, the bigger and better things. And he asked me to join the show, and if Carl's asking, I'm joining. He's got great ideas. We've talked about different shows that we didn't pull the trigger on, and all of a sudden somebody else is doing our show. So I knew this was going to be something that's going to work.
Right. Wow. Nice. And Steve, I just lost him a minute. We're having Steve is out in California, by the way, guys. He's not local, so everybody knows what this Zoom. Anything's possible. Anything can happen. So
he's right. He's driving the coast in LA in his Rolls Royce.
Yes, exactly. So the goal of the show, Carl. What do both of you want out of the show? What's your intent?
Me personally, I'm hoping to get some solutions out of the show, because most of the shows where Black people are talking, I'm sure that other people, it sounds like we're complaining. Right. You know?
Right.
And I like talking about some of the things we're going through, but I'm sure all the things we're going through, people can see. So we're just telling them, to me, what they already know.
Right.
And we kind of do the same thing on our show, Tanya. We talk about all our experiences from being Black, all the things we go through.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, a lot of my white friends that watch the show, they would actually message me and say, I had no idea that this was what Black people were dealing with. And I'm like, how could you not know?
Right.
How could you?
Yeah, when you did it.
They're sincerely saying we didn't know, like all the experiences we talk about you and I talked about, going shopping before the coronavirus thing, and having white people try to avoid touching your hand when they're giving you your change back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everybody knows the doors being locked, and you guys have heard me say, like, I just don't understand what's the fear of Black people. Where does that come from?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm really on a mission to find out, where does that come from? And I know we talked about it's 400 years of conditioning of white people being told that this is what Black people are, and you know what I mean?
Right.
But to me, it's like, even if somebody tells me Tanya is such and such, and I work with Tanya, I'm around Tanya for a number of years, I begin to realize, hey, it is not true what people are saying about Tanya. So I don't understand why, even though there's generations of white people telling other white people that Black people we are criminals and we're mean and we're all the negative things.
Right.
They still work and walk amongst us every day.
Right.
How could they not see for themselves that this is not true?
Right. And that's what I like about the show, is that you'll be hearing from our voices, not everybody else's voices. And because we're a YouTube show, you're not going to hear just the station's point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure a lot of African Americans, they've said to me that, I'd like to say something, but there's nowhere to really voice your opinion. It's all candy coated, or no pun intended, but whitewashed. So while you never want to be disrespectful to anybody else or hurt anybody's feelings, we do have to tell our truth, and we have to come to terms with that, whatever that may be, because we can't even go anywhere until we get that out of the way. So that's what attracted me to the show. I say, can America really laugh at race? Can we laugh together with all the racism going on? Can we laugh as African Americans, or do we just focus on us and try to be better as individuals and do our own plan? And hopefully, with that being said, maybe things will change. Some people are so unhopeful that they've actually left the country. I refuse to leave because I think my ancestors deserve a little bit of reparations. So I'm not going nowhere till I get them. But that's just my personal opinion. Stephen, are you here with us?
He's gone again.
He's gone again.
Stephen's trying
he's like a phantom. He makes an appearance. You got to get him when he's here before he disappears and then comes back again.
Yes, get him while he's hot. That's right. So when he comes back on, we'll ask him. So forgive us, guys. This happens. And by the way, I want to say hi out there to Wandra Brown and Norma Staley. Thank you very much for watching in. And I can't see who the other people are. I see you there, but I can't see you. You're not saying nothing, so I couldn't see you. But thank you. So how has COVID affected your work as comedians? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, I have hardly done anything since March.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been a few shows here and there. Mm-hmm. But from what I'm hearing from other comedians, I mean, I have a friend who tried drive-in comedy.
Yeah, I heard
of that, where people drive up into a big parking lot with their cars, but it's not the same. And like me personally, my act requires human interaction.
Okay.
I mean, I like talking to the audience. I like seeing people's reaction, and I mean, and there's like certain facial expressions that gets a laugh, and that kind of stuff. So if you're on a big stage and people are sitting in their cars, I mean, it's just not the same.
Yeah, the response time. Yeah, it's not.
I mean, I do it to stay. I'll try to get on stage just to stay fresh,
right?
Because a comic, you have to be on stage constantly, because if you don't use it, you lose it, and that is absolutely true in comedy. You might have your act in your head,
right,
and you might think you're still killing it in your head.
I killed it in my
Why are you gonna bring up my painful past?
Yeah. But once you hit the stage, if you haven't been on stage in a while, you might be killing it in your head, and you hit the stage after not being on stage for a few months. You lost it, and you got you miss all the taglines and all the other stuff that goes into making your act. And so,
how long have you been doing comedy?
I actually started in the late 80s, early 90s, and then I didn't take like a 10-year hiatus, but like a 10-year, I was in and out of it for about 10 years before I got back in, and that was because what I really started to see in the entertainment business, I was really turned off by it. And I was not willing to do some of the things that I saw other comics and actors and actresses. I was in New York for a number of years, doing the club thing, going from club to club and, hanging out. And I saw a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, I am not doing that. Right. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not kissing. I mean, I would be nice to people. Mm-hmm. But why do people need to have their butts kissed? What is that about?
Ego.
Right? What is that?
Now we're talking about Weinstein.
Yeah, and say, oh, well, Hawaiian scene. We're going to go there. I was trying to wait. You just answer the part first.
I didn't know we were going to talk about that. I didn't know,
because I'm thinking
we only have like 10 minutes, believe it or not. So we can't go into wine scene yet. That's for a 5BC show on entertainment, and we can go there with that.
Yeah, because I was thinking, honestly, when I got into comedy, I think if you're funny, you move up. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, you move up. Okay, he's funny, we like him. She's funny, we like her. This person's funny. Come on. But that's not the way it goes. It's like, you're funny, but what are you willing to do for me?
Yes.
You know what I mean? To make it to the next step.
That's the entertainment business all the way around. Fashion, music, media, all the mediums above are all, I call them monster businesses.
Yeah.
So unless you really do something majorly exceptional, you got to lay with the devil, pretty much is how I put it. And if you don't, then you got really lucky. I know people got lucky, and who came up to the opportunity and said, "Nah, I'm not doing that." And I can tell you, because from the modeling industry, I learned that quickly, and I chose not to lay with the devil. Thank you very much. I'm not into him too much. He's not that cute. Yeah. But preach. You didn't tell us. How has COVID affected you?
COVID has been horrible. I mean, I don't consider myself ultra paranoid about COVID, but I've taken it seriously. When they came out and said wear a mask, I wear a mask. Sometimes I wear two. I don't want to be inside someplace. I'm not going to a restaurant. I don't want to be inside a club. I don't want to be inside anywhere. I like to stay home. When I heard about the COVID thing, I'm thinking this is just a precursor to the zombie apocalypse, because they've always talked about that. Okay, they always talked about this big pandemic, and now it's here. So the zombie apocalypse can't be far behind. And see, I started thinking about the whole COVID thing because there are so many people catching it. Now, my question is this: are the people that didn't get COVID the ones that are going to become the zombies because there's something in the COVID that repels, or we'll call it the zombiosis? Maybe that's not a word. Maybe it is a word. COVID's new. Zombiosis is new. Okay. So, or maybe it's something that's in COVID that draws the zombiosis to you. Okay. That makes you turn to the zombie, which is kind of scary because Trump caught COVID, which means Trump could become a zombie. And he's got a lot of followers. So if he becomes a zombie, how are you going to put him down? Huh? Right. You're supposed to double tap. How are you going to get to double tap him when you got all those followers protecting him? He's got Secret Service protecting him. And he'll turn blue. Like if you ever saw Z Nation, I've done my research. Okay, I'm not just saying these things to be saying them. I watched Z Nation. Right. I watched Zombieland. I watched World War Z. I watched them all. Okay, so I know I'm not just spouting off, stuff without facts to back it up.
Right.
And Z Nation, they're blue.
They're blue.
Wouldn't that be interesting if Trump turned blue and he supports the blue states? Interesting.
That would be very interesting. Well, here's the thing for you guys as comics. How has all the shootings and then on election night, when we all watched together, seeing all that red, and it was what was so close, how does that affect your funny? You're joking and you're is there times where you get on stage and sorry, I can't be funny tonight, like Dave Chappelle did the other day? When Floyd, I think it was when Floyd got killed, or was it Breonna? When Floyd got killed, I believe he everyone's waiting with their canceled. Yeah, and he did a show, but he did that private show, remember?
Right, yeah. I saw that.
It was brilliant, but people were pissed because they were like, I paid money for this ticket. I was like, what do you expect him to get on stage and make jokes? Yeah. When someone got a knee on the neck, that's not gonna. There's certain times where you just, sorry, there is no jokes right now.
Yeah. When I saw George Floyd on TV, I cried. I swear, I cried.
Yeah, we all.
Tears came down my eyes, and today I can't watch it. Whenever the name George Floyd pops up on TV, and I said, please don't show a clip. Yeah. And if I see any hint of a clip, or I just change the channel. I just, what I mean, is how do you be funny after watching that?
Yeah, no, it's hard. Very hard. Very hard. But have you I don't know, do you think
if somebody hired me to be funny, I would go on stage and be funny. I can put that aside and be funny and entertain.
That's what
Dave Chappelle's on a totally different level. You know what I mean? So I understand what he did.
Right.
He's not on my level, you know what I mean? But somebody say, hey, I'm gonna give you a couple $100 and come do a show. I can't go up there and do, talk about my feelings. They didn't pay me for
that. That's a good statement, because a lot of times comics think that they can do what they want. I had a charity show and I asked everybody to be clean because I'm doing it with kids. So and then they just let loose a barrage of D jokes.
F-bombs.
I mean, I didn't even care about the F-bombs, but the jokes, the dick jokes were like, whoa, not now. And half of my audience left in 5 minutes. So I learned my lesson as a comedian, at least. I mean, I knew better because I minored, I should have minored in psychology because I studied a lot about people. So I knew I gave them a jewel that any comic would want to know: your audience demographics. I told them exactly who those people were, 87 people, exactly. And they still insisted on doing what they wanted to do. So that's good that you said that. If I'm getting paid, I'm going to do what I came to do, which is make them laugh.
And I've had people hire me and they said, some people keep it clean. Now, my question now is, how do you mean? Because some people would say to me, no sex jokes. You can swear all you want, no sex jokes. Okay. Some people say, no swearing. You can talk about all the sex you want. So for some people, clean, it means to. And some people will say no sex jokes or no swearing, just, you know what I mean? So you got to pretty much have two acts.
Right.
Or you got to be a mind reader, because I got docked $400 for a joke once because they said keep it clean. And generally, I don't swear much in my act. And I told an act where I told a joke where I said the word 69, and they fined me for it.
What?
Yes.
Oh, no. That's crazy.
And it was simple. I said I was driving down the highway doing 69. I got stopped by the police. If you are doing 69, you should get stopped by the police. Bang. That was it. So I didn't go into detail of what this person was doing.
Right.
All I said was, if you're doing 69 going down the highway, you should get stopped.
Right.
Bang. Then I do like this.
I think that's.
But that was it.
So wait. Well, why did both of you get into comedy? I'm just curious. How did you get into comedy?
I got into comedy. I was just drawn to it. I mean, as you know, I came from Barbados. Mm-hmm. In Barbados, I wanted to do comedy, but there's no clubs or there's no like stand-up comedy clubs to go and do open mics and nothing like that. There are comedians where people talk, but it's not the kind of comedy that I wanted to do.
Who did you see that influenced you? Who did you see?
I remember when we got a video recorder, a videotape recorder. Mm-hmm. And when they used to rent videotapes, then one of the videos I rented was Richard Pryor.
Oh, I love it.
And I watched him do stand-up, and I said, my God, I would love to do that. Just get up and talk about, your life or what's going on around you. Right. But all I saw around me in Barbados was people telling jokes, like jokes. Right. And I didn't want to do jokes. I wanted to, tell stories.
Right.
And but I didn't plan to come to America to do stand-up. Mm-hmm. I just had an opportunity to come to America. At that time, the whole computer craze was going on. IBM was kind of new. Mm-hmm. So my thing was to come to America, take a computer class, go to school, which I did, and then go back to Barbados. And because at the time there was Intel and several other companies that were starting businesses in Barbados, so it was kind of booming. So I was going to go back and get a job there, but I came here, and while going to school one night, I just happened to be on Commonwealth Ave in Boston. Gerald knows where that is, and I walked by a club called Stitches.
Oh, Stitches.
And I walked in and I saw people on stage doing what I wanted to do. I'm like, oh my God. I felt like I was in heaven, like God just, yeah. And I just walked in and I couldn't believe that I am actually, because I didn't know, like, how did Richard Pryor get to where he is? I didn't understand I had the concept of open mics, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And I went and I talked to some people, and I think Gerald was one of the first comics I met.
Really?
Really? Yeah. And,
how long you guys known each other?
30 plus years.
Wow. Preach, how did you
I can
get?
neither confirm nor deny that.
Yeah. A quick story. One night I did a show at the Comedy Connection and I bombed so bad. I swear I would never do comedy again. I bombed so bad. I not only was I'm not gonna go back to the club in Boston, I was not gonna go into Boston.
Oh my gosh, that bad?
I thought that some of the people from the show might be on the streets in Boston and see me and say, "Hey, that's the guy that sucks." And Gerald said, "Nah, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going."
Good for you, because my first time I felt like that too, but I didn't have anybody say, "Well, no, yes, I did. I did too. I do actually. I take that. There was a couple like, who cares? You're gonna go vindicate yourself the next time." And I was like, "Yeah, revenge, mine." So then I became the person the comic who probably needed a psychologist, because now I'm like, I want my revenge, and I do better than time. How many people can I have laughing? What about you, Preach? How did you get into it?
I think I always had a different view of things, and when I wanted to start, I went into I found out where people had open mics, and DJ Hazard, if you've ever heard of him, he was the first person I talked to, and he was setting up for a show, and he took time out to sit and talk to me, tell me where to go, who to see, the people to talk to, and like this was all before while he was trying to set up for his show, and he took time out and gave me the rope, so we're everybody, and then I ended up working with Mike McDonald for a number of years, only because he had an issue with his license, so I was basically the chauffeur opener.
Really?
It was the slash chauffeur opener.
That's the ultimate deal for a new comic.
Oh yeah, it was great.
That's
and
amazing.
I learned a lot from him.
Yeah, someone told me.
I was starting.
Oh really? Yeah, someone told me you should know how to drive, because that's really how you get in by driving the big guys where they got to go. And I said,
absolutely.
I'm not gonna be a chauffeur, but then I was like, depending on who it is, maybe if it's Dave Chappelle, yeah, Bill Burr, yeah, never mind, I won't say the name because I don't want to say nothing bad about somebody, but anybody else, maybe not. So it's an interesting. No,
it is, especially like I did shows with I don't know if you remember Patrice O'Neill.
Yes.
Yeah, and you drive and. You get in your car and you're like, damn, I think I'm gonna have to get new shocks after this. He was a big dude. He was a big dude.
Bigger than Earthquake?
Yeah, he gave Earthquake a run for his money.
Oh, dang, really? Wow, I must have not been in a long time then. Wow. Okay, I hear that. And so, guys, so I'm trying to think. What do you see for yourself for 2021 with the lockdowns and all this stuff? Are you going to try to get into this Zoom thing? Or are you just like, nope, I'll wait till it opens up? What? Because for me, I do act outs and stuff, but they happen to work even in Zoom. So I just have, I'm way behind you guys, by the way. I've only been doing this 5 years, so you know what that means. She's a newbie. Who's that? So it's all good. But what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely want to get back to doing live stuff. I just love doing that. I love meeting people. I do. I am most comfortable on stage.
Yes.
I am absolutely most comfortable on stage.
Yeah, he's so comfortable that he had a stage built in the delivery room when he was having his kids, just so he could be more comfortable. The doc's like, what is that? He goes, hey, no heckling.
I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait till they start opening up stuff again. They're saying April, if people get vaccinated. I don't trust the vaccines.
Nope, I'm not taking it.
Like they have a great history of Black people and vaccines.
Never happened for me. Not,
yeah.
Nope, can't happen.
Have you ever gotten a flu shot?
I've never. And I'm 55, never had the flu. So why would I take anything? And they say people who had the flu shot are easier to get COVID. That's what they allege. Since that's what they
really,
yeah.
See, they get the flu shot, then they get COVID, then the zombiosis. Where does it end? Where does it end?
Apocalypse is coming. What are we gonna do? So first, I wanted to say hi to a couple of viewers, guys. Hi, Wandra. How are you? Who's that? And Norma, my daughter's grandma. Hey, Norma. How are you?
Hi, Norma.
Yeah, she said, I think we need to hear more from our Black men. The community needs them good subject. And absolutely, that's what I think, Norma, that we do need to hear from Black voices. We keep hearing from people who I feel like are on a payroll. So when you're on a payroll, your words are not your words at all. And we may not be able to do this forever. Who knows? Maybe they'll come up with some new rule or law. I don't know. But for now, I'm all for expressing my art and my opinion the way I'd like to without hurting other people. So I like that. Who else says something? It's been going on so long. We have to change the way our minds have been programmed so long. We have to change that. Yes, that's what we were talking earlier. But you're right, we do. And this is one of the reasons why Five Black Comics is so awesome, because, I think Carl and the gentleman's intent is to get us to use our mind and then see where we can change our mind to create our own Black wealth, whatever it is we need to do instead of relying on somebody else. So we know, some of us know, I do feel like America hates us 99% of the time, except for my friends and the people that I know. We all know some good white people. We got people probably in our families. You know what I'm saying? That's not the issue. But the ones that do are so prevalent, and it's
the ones that voted for Trump.
Yeah, the ones that voted for Trump are so. I mean, and some. I have a couple of friends who said, "Well, I'm not like that," and I said, "Yeah, but you don't get. If you can't even see the racism, the hatred, and the not denouncing Proud Boys, we can't even have a conversation." Like I don't even engage with those people anymore. I'll still call some people my friends. Some people I didn't just totally disown, because I felt in my heart that if they were in a wood situation and they had the opportunity to hang me and get away with it, I know they would never do it, and they wouldn't allow anybody else to do it. That's how how I base my friendship with my other friends now. I'm like, would they protect me if they had to? And if I have to say no, that's why I unfriended them. So if you got unfriended, you know why. Anybody else, I kept you because I felt like in the end, if it all came down to it and you came up and someone said, kill her just because she has an afro, I don't think they would do it. It's not even a question in my mind. They wouldn't do it. So,
I mean, racism is not a deal breaker for you. I got a problem with that.
Okay. You got a problem with that? Well, no, because here's the thing. Okay. And I'm glad you said that. I used to be a drug counselor, and I teach my clients, you have to meet people where they're at. So if it's someone that we knows better because they've been around the world, they've seen TV, they've seen YouTube, I'm going to get you. But there's some people who I know personally who did not get the goddamn memo till after they left college and the house and the dog and all that stuff, because their parents were so adamant about stuff. I knew they didn't have to tell me, but I know their parents was racist. They struggled every day to stay off that side. So those are the people that I have to say, okay, I'm gonna meet you right at the line. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna meet you at the line, because until I see something, I mean, it is something to be racist. So but I don't see them as, if I'm still friends with you, I didn't see you yet as a racist. You may be prejudiced. You may have dumb thoughts. You may have negative thoughts. You may have trailer thoughts, but you're not.
She said trailer.
This way, you're not trying to hurt my people based on our color. How about that? That's all I base it on. If I think that you are really trying to come for my people in any form, level, or not just my people, forget that. Anybody, just because they're Chinese, because you're this. If I think you're trying to come for somebody, and coming for you, meaning you don't want to give them jobs, you're going to make sure if you had the opportunity, you kill them. If you make their life miserable, you do genocide. I mean, the whole, all the things we go through daily. If I felt like you were on that list, oh no, I don't even dialogue with you. I can't have a conversation with you. So I get what you're saying. And some people, my daughter is very famous for dropping people. I don't know where she gets that from. But my younger daughter, oh boy, she'll drop you like you hot. She don't care who you are. She'll drop you. She's like you. Nope. Trump what? Oh, bye. Literally bye. And I'm like, there's no but.
Because one of the discussions I had with a friend of mine who supports Trump, his claim was, well, my 401k is doing well because of Trump. My business is doing well. I'm making all this money. I'm like, but the guy can't say that racists are bad. He can't say the KKK is bad. Yeah. What does that tell you? So I'm like, okay, what if somebody told me, Carl, I'm going to give you $1,000 every time I punch you, my friend, in the face. Let's say his name is Tony. Carl, I'm gonna give you $1,000 every time I punch Tony in the face, right? And you're getting punched in the face, and I'm getting $1,000.
Right.
I can say, hey, look, I'm making money. Yeah, but Tony, you're getting punched in the face. I don't care. I'm making $1,000 for every punch you get. How would you feel about that?
I like that.
You know what I mean? The focus is my life or my well-being less important than you making money. So you don't see anything wrong with someone who can't say the KKK is bad. Right. The KKK's sole existence, in my opinion, is to get rid of Black people.
Yes, I agree.
That's the sole existence.
And Jews.
Huh? What'd you say?
He said and Jews.
So their sole existence is to get rid of groups of people.
Yes.
Why isn't that a deal breaker for you? How can you support anyone that's, you know what I mean? So
absolutely, I totally get it. But I told you I wanted to be a nun, but I didn't like their habit and they didn't like mine. Yeah. And so my father almost did that. And so the problem for me, I try to always, now there's been people that tested me, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect at any shape, form, or fashion, but there's been people that test me. But overall, I try to do whatever God would do, which is corny as hell. And I do not want to be the one. I don't want to be that person, but it always comes down to it. I've had people crap on me. And I mean, I don't let you crap on me twice. I don't let you crap on me at all. But, so people have done things, but in the end, if they're showing any kind of humility or humility, compassion, or forgiveness, or whatever those things are, I'm the sucker. I'm the one that's like, okay, I won't totally cut them off. I'll just not blah, blah, blah. Which I don't know if that's, I don't think it is reflective of me, but not really, because I even since I was a kid, I can cut you off if you're doing something actively to me. So if you slap me in my face, of course, after I slap you back, then I will cut you off. Yes.
But I liken racism to like men who abuse women.
Oh,
right. There are men who abuse women, but men still remain friends with those men, knowing what they're doing to the women. And I'm guilty of that.
I'm guilty right now. I'm so guilty. Preach, help me.
You
want to kick me in my head.
I canceled my brother, so I've been spoken to him in like 6 years.
You did what?
When I say cancel, I mean cancel. They always talk about canceling people. I mean cancel. I actually tell people I have 2.5 brothers, because he's actually a half brother, and I make sure I say that so I remind myself that I'm less related to him.
Wow. So you canceled, right? Oh my God. Was it due to racism?
Okay, he's a wife beater. He's hospitalized 2 of them that he's had, and everyone he's ever been with, he's put hands on.
Got you. So okay, so you really stand by your word. You're not playing. You don't play. So I want to be more like you. You're like my little new idol. Like I just need to get rid of some people in my life. Like and I have like 4 left that I'm like, damn. Do I have to really
4? I also give people an opportunity to grow. Right. I'm not gonna, say, well, except for him, he's not growing.
Right.
But he's stunted. He's stunted mentally. He's mentally stunted in that area.
Everybody has their one thing that they absolutely will not accept. And even though part of it is not funny, but part of it I have to laugh at because I have no choice. But I have one person in my life that I say the words forgive, but that I'll never deal with again. And that's one of my foster brothers that abused me when I was younger. The other one died. So he's, let God do that. But that's the one I'm like, perverts and pedophiles. No, thank you. Yeah. Can't do it. Wife beaters. Nope. Not on my list. Can't do it.
Did they admit and ask for forgiveness? Did the person admit?
Yes, he did ask for forgiveness and all fairness. And he served 7 years in jail of 14 because he told what he did to the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, never got no time for me because I was a foster kid. Nobody cared. Nobody believed me until the third victim or whatever. Then they were like, oh, was that true? No, I made it up. I was a hot ass 9-year-old. Like, duh. So you just, I'm over that now after 30 years of therapy. But that's the one exception. So like you, abuse is another one, but I don't believe in, I can't forget. Well, I can say the words forgive you, but we're not going to have tea and crumpets. Never going to happen. So I get you, Preach. And that's, doesn't matter who it is, because that's just something some things are just unforgivable. you know. So even though he said sorry, I can't move forward on that one.
Anyway, but if you can't forgive, that means you're not a Christian, right? You're not.
Nope, not at all. And that's another lie they tell, and I do a whole set about that.
Yeah.
Nope. Jesus would not want you to remember that shit. Nope.
Because don't they say the Bible preaches forgiveness?
You're just not there yet.
Well, listen, that's what you said. Say what you said again. Don't what?
Don't. You're talking to me, I'll preach.
Yeah, you. What'd you say? Don't they? What'd you say?
Don't they say that?
Don't they say that the Bible says preaches forgiveness? They say. Right, they say.
Sorry guys, man made that rule up.
Forgives all sins.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he doesn't. And I can tell you. Okay, so like, all right, so like what? Stealing, maybe. Jeffrey Dahmer, not so much. Depends on what it is. I mean, I think God has standards, and I don't believe that I do not believe that if it's true that all sins are forgiven because you asked for it. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I'm gonna go rob a bank and be like, yo, Lord, forgive me. All right. It's not gonna happen, because if that's true, that means that when I get to freaking heaven, and I've been looking forward to getting to that damn place, when I get to heaven, I got to sit up there with Jeffrey Dahmer and Dylan Roof with a bad haircut. No.
Hitler.
And Hitler, like, what's God gonna say? Hey, Dylan boy, come.
So, you know what? I always said, if God can forgive Hitler, why am I being good? Why don't I just go nuts? You know what I mean?
Well, see, I think there's a difference, though.
What's the point of being good if Hitler's gonna be forgiven?
Nope, I
think there's a difference. Mm-hmm. See, God is gracious enough to forgive you, but there's a penalty for the sins you commit. It's like seeds that you put in the ground. If you put evil, ugly, nasty seeds in the ground, okay, and then later on you're forgiven, guess what? You still have to harvest that nasty, ugly, evil, poisonous crop. See, it's still going to grow. It's still going to come up, and you still have to deal with it. So you might be forgiven, but guess what? Oh, you got all this nasty, dirty baggage that you got to deal with, and so you're not getting to pass these pearly gates. You're taking the elevator down.
Because we're going to do a show on.
Sorry.
We're gonna do a show on forgiving the N-word, right? Remember that? We're gonna talk about.
So that'll be a good show. But let me tell you something. If God is that forgiving, where He will let Jeffrey Dahmer and Oklahoma Bomber and who else? The person that killed Emmett Till into heaven because they said sorry on their last breath. Give me a cold ice glass of water, because I'm going straight to hell. I'm going to hang out with Lucifer. That's going to be my man, because I'm just not going to be. I don't want to be in heaven with somebody like that. I don't. And here's the thing. Who is it? Donna, I get you. Donna says forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. I've heard that so much, and I'm sorry.
Donna's my family.
Oh, hi, Donna. How are you? With all the church sex.
She watches us every Saturday.
I'm here to tell all those priests, I'm putting you on notice. God does not forgive you. That is a lie. You know it, and I know it. He's not forgiving you ever. You're going straight to hell. Just start packing now. But anyway, guys, I know that's horrible, but that's just the one thing I don't.
Because he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, Sodom and Gomorrah, but
yeah, people get mixed up too, because there's Old Testament where God was like a line in the sand.
Fire and brimstone.
Like, look, you cross this line, this is what's going to happen. And when you cross the line, I'm sorry, I already told you that was going to happen, so I have to destroy you. And then the New Testament, God is a kinder, gentler God, because when they say He sent Christ to, take the burden of sins away from all men, because no one can go without sinning, and that's what they say. No one, everybody sins.
Yes, and I'm sure I do all day too, but that's not the same. To me, it's just not in the same arena that let me see. I don't know what's my sin every day. That I didn't get my fat butt up and my COVID belly and get it out there and do my 5 miles of biking. And I know I'm going to cause health problems later if I don't do that. That's a sin to me. That's an overeating sin. So I've committed sins all the time. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you hurt a 4-year-old child, a newborn baby. You feel me? And you gave him a black eye, a 2-year-old. Like, I don't want to ever forgive you.
How about the guy that shot those kids in the school in Connecticut?
And I knew the guy here in not Mount Kisco, whatever town this is near Chappaqua, that shot his 2 lovely, beautiful children, 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever. The Friedlander case, I knew them. That's just horrible. Like, there is no forgiveness for that. You're not telling me this guy is going to go to heaven. Well, he took himself out. Thank God. He did the smart thing, in my opinion. That's the only time that is acceptable.
So basically, you're saying everything is not forgiven.
No, right. Exactly. There's two things not forgiving: hurting a child in any form. I mean, like beating, attacking them, and sexually abusing a child. Never forgiven. Never. Ever, 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 ever. You heard it from me. And I didn't become a minister because I'd be the minister telling you opposite. They'd be like, what? He didn't say that.
Imagine,
yes, he did. I talked to him
imagine going to the church of Tanya.
That's right.
You heard it.
You heard it first from me, folks. I'm not the forgiving type at all. I know it's something. And people say, "Oh, you got to work on that." No, I don't. I don't work. I'm 5 years old. I know
you got to work on that.
I'm saying is true from me. It may not be true for you, but it's true for me. But you know what? People tell themselves that all sins are forgiven because they know they're fucking up. Excuse my French. That's why they do that. They do that because they know that they did some grimy shit. That's usually the people that are like, "Oh, God forgives all sin." I mean, come on. How many of them priests are like, "Oh, our Father"? No. It's never going to happen. You could do 10 Hail Marys. You are going straight to hell if you sexually abuse a child. And if you don't, please come out of your casket and haunt me like a ghost. That's how I see it. But before we go, I want to say a big up to Kevin Lee again. If you guys haven't known his book, Playing with Fire, you should pick it up. You can get it on Amazon. And Des will be seeing you Saturday. And who else? Oh, and Stephen, who's unfortunately our connection was not able to happen. But Stephen has a platform on podbrother.com. So check that out. He's a distributor on podbrothernation.com. And he's also a producer, Hollywood Drive-In Film Festival. Yay, woohoo. So he's got a lot of stuff. And sports podcast, thepenaltygame.com. Yes, he's an activist, U.S. Construction 360, and he's a co-host at BuyBlackComics.com. So we had to shout them out first. I don't know what that was. I want to say something about. I don't want to make somebody think that. But yeah. So you guys, any last requests before we exit? I cannot believe how quick time flew.
Well, I learned something. I learned that all is not forgiven. All is not forgiven. That but I think I have a chance to go to heaven.
Mm-hmm. You think what?
I think I have a chance to go to heaven. I never thought that I had a chance because I always thought like to get to heaven, it seems you have to be perfect. I'm like, I can never be perfect.
No,
you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking like, if I'm having a heart attack and some really hot nurse is hanging over me, my last thoughts is got to be nice tits. So there I go. I'm done.
But see, that's not a sin to me. That's not a sin. Now, if you touch, that would be a sin. And that would be 5%.
Have you heard you sin in thought, word, and deed? That's what I was taught when I go back to Sunday school. You sing in thought, word, and deed. So all that stuff's in my head. I mean, I can never be a Christian because I can't be perfect. I'm sorry.
I'm a Quaker.
Yeah, see, and that's the issue, though. See, people skirt over that. See, we don't have time to get into it. That's why Christ came, because nobody. The key phrase that says, "For all," that means everybody. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That means everybody. Everybody. So if heaven will either be empty or He's going to forgive some people. So.
It says how many are going to go. Only like 250,000 people are going to make it to heaven, by the way. I mean, well, they're going to be on earth watching the destruction as it happens. Only 250,000 people, about somewhere, I forgot the exact number, will live. Read Revelations. It talks about this, okay? I mean,
the church I went to preach world without end. The reverend would actually say world without end, and the whole congregation would go, amen, world without end, amen. So
that's creepy. That's some Jim Jones stuff right there. We don't do calls. Well, here's the thing about religion. I love it, but everything's subjective. And some people, like, because Chris is a staunch, Christian. Look at my face.
Yeah.
Right. And all the Republicans are staunch Christians, or we want to save our babies. We can't have no abortions. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But then they'll let you, never mind. So they'll kill you with the vaccine. I mean,
it's a matter of timing. Yeah, it's a matter of timing.
Yeah.
They don't want the babies being killed.
Yeah, it's all contradictive. It's all bull crap. I personally believe you keep God in your heart. Not he's not sitting just in some church. I hate to tell you that, because a lot of people that I see sitting in church, they's going to hell. I'm just saying, they going straight to hell with no cold water whatsoever. I will not call out their sins, but all I can say is the first one, thou shalt not covet thy wife, is one of them, and there's many other sins being committed, which I don't want to be the comment that tells it all, the dirty rat. So with that being said, I guess, fellas, it's time to wrap it up. Any last requests before we go? I really appreciate you guys coming on. Five Black Climates is on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Where can we catch you guys?
Eastern Standard Time.
I forgot Eastern. Yes, thank you. We can catch you on YouTube Live, and what else?
We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter,
Facebook.
We're gonna be all over the place. We are taking Five Black Comics globally.
Yes, right. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So guys, one thing, Donna, I know nobody's perfect, and I'm just busting chops here right now. I'm not that bad. If I was that bad, I wouldn't be hanging out or still having friends that are Trump supporters. That's just awkward. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying? I'm not that bad. I could be worse. But thank you guys for joining us. We thank you guys, Norma, Wandra. I see you out there. Joe. Hi, Joe. And Donna, thank you very much for watching. I can't see who the other people are, but thank you, whoever you are. And we hope you'll tune in again next Sunday at 8 p.m. And I'm also on Thursdays for the Living Room Chat. This just me voicing my opinions about current events. So that's another one. And then Saturdays, check out 5 Black Comics at 5 p.m. YouTube and Facebook Live. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time.